You're the biggest faggot I know.
That's true.
And I know some gay people, and you fucking take the cake.
You take the fucking fag cake.
You do.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, Shawn.
Fuck.
What do I do with you?
I don't know.
So,
No.
welcome to an episode of David and Shawn. I'm David. And this
You're a
is
faggot.
Alright, hang on. We're going to do another.
Your face was great. Oh, shit.
Alright. Well, just so you know, next week, prepare. Unless you watch Batman, which you should. We should watch it tomorrow, so then we can talk Batman. But yeah, look up your favorite. Like, have a list of like 5 or 6 of your best fucking movie trilogies. Trilogy means 3, by the way, Shawn. It doesn't mean 7 movies. You can just pick 3 out of the 7. It has to be just 3 movies. That's it.
God, I fucking hate you so much.
Like, it's not like I can be like, Harry Potter's my favorite trilogy. I like movies 2, 3, and 4. It's like, no.
You know that's like not even the same thing as what I'm saying.
It is. You're just like, I want movies like 4, because you were going to say 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, guess what? If it's a trilogy, there's no way there could be an episode.
Okay, well, but the thing is, like, like when they sell it at Walmart, it's like, the original trilogy. They call it that at fucking Walmart and Best Buy and everywhere else.
I hate that you're bringing up a decent point with the word Walmart involved.
I know. It really does suck.
But you're still wrong, though, because it's episode 4, 5, and 6, and 7. So,
okay. Alright, this has been an episode with David and Shawn.
I'm gonna do it. I mean, this isn't going anywhere. Well, damn. I actually do want to fucking do this trilogy thing. I'm just gonna list off my list of trilogies because I think I got them all. I don't think you can bring anything new to the table because I thought about it all day at work.
Oh man, well, thanks for letting me know, you faggot.
I didn't know you were even gonna come on and do this tonight.
Well,
I think you're good. Name one movie trilogy.
I can't because I can't. Evidently, I can't because I don't even know Star Wars is a trilogy or not.
We can try to count Star Wars if you want. Like, I didn't count Indiana Jones because there's 4 of them.
Okay, I would say Lord of the Rings, but it doesn't fucking count because The Hobbit was
because The Hobbit is called The Hobbit, and Lord of the Rings are called The Lord of the Rings.
I know, but
so Lord of the Rings does count. Hobbit's not even close to being one of the best, though, so that's not even going to get listed.
Well, I'm just saying that. I mean, it depends because, well, technically The Hobbit came before and it just continues the storyline. So I'm a fucking faggot. My name's David. So if you want to go by that logic,
what are you even saying?
I basically said that
I know that you have to like do dishes and shit at your job.
Oh my fucking God.
And you have to do everyone's laundry, but I didn't know that you had to suck your dick at it as well.
You always do that shit, man. I'm just telling you. By your logic, you can't count Lord of the Rings as a trilogy because The Hobbit came before, and that just continues the same story.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. The Hobbit does continue the same story as Lord of the Rings. So, boom, you're a faggot. Check and
no, because it's not in the title.
Unstumpable. That's why we're voting for Trump.
Can't
Unstumpable.
stump the Trump.
You can't stump the Trump.
Oh, God. All right. Well, okay, we're going to do a different topic. Because you're the worst person in the world. And Lord of the Rings does count.
Well, Lord of the Rings counts and then Star Wars counts.
Okay, fine. We can count Star Wars, I guess.
Ah, man.
Well, what's weird is, like, where do we draw the line? Because we're not going to, like, Indiana Jones has 4. I guess you can just say, like, the original Indy movies. But then, like, where does that end? Because I could do that shit. Like, I could do, like, I think the Terminator is my favorite trilogy if you take Terminator 1, 2, and 4 and skip 3 and 5.
No. Because I say a trilogy is 3 consecutive episodes, like 1, 2, or 3. Now, obviously, like, I don't know. You're right, man. Because, like, Terminator doesn't fucking count either because... Terminator just fucking sucks.
No, Terminator 1, 2, and 4 are fucking awesome.
Okay, well, the whole fucking like going back in time shit. Like it's like they didn't think it through when they wrote it. So,
well, I mean, they thought 1 and 2 through. 3, they just thought they could redo 2, and I don't know, make John Connor even more of a fucking pussy than he was in 2, and have Arnold told jokes. And then 4 was actually awesome, but everyone shit all over it because they did something new. I don't really know what the complaints were.
John Connor bangs his own mom, right?
I mean, no, but what happens isn't really too much more ridiculous. Where he sends his own dad. It'd be like me and you. I'd be like, Shawn, I got this time machine. You're actually my dad, even though you're younger than me. I'm going to send you back through time, and you're going to bang my mom and have me. He might as well just bang his own mom. Like, that would be, like, the greatest paradox ever. That'd be like Fry from fucking Futurama.
Bangs his own grandpa.
You know what? We've talked so much about this, and I feel like this conversation is worth saving. So, we're going to do, welcome to an episode of David and Shawn. I'm David. And that's Shawn the Faggot. And we are going to do favorite movie trilogies. Shawn didn't fucking prepare for this because I just dropped it on him. But before this episode started, I think we had a decent enough conversation that I'm going to keep in the episode.
We're not doing this, man.
We are doing it.
No.
Yes, because there's no way for us to organically have this funny of a conversation again. So we got to keep it. We got to roll with it. So you mentioned The Lord of the Rings. I think that's up there.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings is up there. Man. I mean, I guess we...
So what sucks is you haven't seen... So you watched Kung Fu Panda with me for the first time in your life, like last month when you came down.
That's pretty good.
So Kung Fu Panda is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I know you haven't seen 2 or 3, but they're all 3 fucking excellent movies. The first one's my favorite. Because it's like the perfect mix of like comedy, action, and really, dramatic storytelling for a fucking kids movie. 2 and 3 don't have the same levels of comedy, even though there's still jokes in there. But they always up the action, and like the story and the drama is like really intense. Especially if you like, it starts to dive into Poe's background of like why he's the only panda and what happened to his tribe, and his poor mom gets killed. Makes you fucking cry. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, no, I would definitely think that you should...
Jack Black's really good, so...
I mean, the whole cast is good. Jackie Chan plays the monkey. That's not racist. Fucking Seth Rogen...
I think Jackie Chan did all of his own stunts in that movie, too.
I think he did, too.
Yeah.
I think that was actually Jackie Chan. They just... Everything's CG but him. He's just in the monkey suit. And they just fucking green screened him in. But no, like, I feel like that has to be in our top 5. You haven't seen 2 or 3, but just from you seeing 1, if there's not any fucking step down in quality and all 3 movies are the same quality, you have to believe that Kung Fu Panda is one of the best trilogies.
See, I don't have an opinion, though.
Yeah,
and you're going to... choose shit
I know. Yeah, I know, only because you've seen the first one. But... If I were to tell you that they don't drop in quality and all 3 movies are just as good and original and unique, would you still put it up there knowing that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd put it, I don't think I'd put it in my top 5, but I'd say it's up there, though.
So, I would also, of course, put Lord of the Rings, the Toy Story movies. Now, granted, number 4 is coming out, but it hasn't yet, so it still counts as a trilogy. I don't know why they're doing a 4th one, because the 3rd one ended perfect. Like, what are they doing?
Oh, I think, no, what they're doing is they're using Buzz and Woody as fucking dildos for Andy's mom. Like, that's what they're doing the whole fucking time.
Andy's mom's not there. What, did she, like, drop Andy off at college and then go get him back?
Yeah.
Andy's mom stole him from the little girl at the end.
And their names are fucking perfect to be dildos already. So
there was a Saturday Night Live skit, or like a Mad TV skit or something like that back in the day when first Toy Story came out, like 99 or 96, whenever that movie came out, and it was like and they were dildos. It was pretty funny. That's old, but I mean, I really think that the Toy Story movies are fucking flawless. I've watched all 3 of them in the last couple of days because they've been on ABC Family. And we just let that shit on for Lucas.
I mean, where do they go? Is he gonna like hand down, like do like hand me downs? Because it's kind of weird that a fucking college age kid has still got fucking dolls.
Wait, hang on. Did you not see Toy Story 3 then?
Yeah, like he goes to fucking
College, and he gives them away to the little girl who had Woody from the year.
Right. I just think that it's weird that he's like all like sentimental with them. I don't know. Maybe I never was, but
maybe. I mean, you're just heartless because I still have all of my old toys. My kid is not allowed to play with them.
Like, you're a 30-year-old kid, though.
Yeah,
okay, so you don't really count.
And I would never get rid of my toys, or else I would cry.
Yeah.
So that's never. But no. I mean, I don't know. To me, and hopefully for you too, I think those three movies are fucking flawless. And it's really weird because there's usually like the third movie in a franchise is always bad. But Lord of the Rings, Kung Fu Panda, and Toy Story, all three movies are so fucking strong. Maybe the best of the series of all of them as well.
So what about Batman?
Okay, so yeah, I do have The Dark Knight on my list, and I still feel like even though the third one shit the bed,
right.
It still is. I mean, like the
That's
first
two... That's about that, because the first two were good, and the third one just, like you said, didn't hold up at all.
And that happens so much. X-Men, Spider-Man, but what makes the Batman series so good is there are some moments in The Dark Knight Rises, like I liked Tim and Bane's first fight in the dark, when Batman tries to turn off all the lights, and Bane's like, "Oh, you fucking breed in the darkness," or no, what do you say? You've merely adapted to the darkness, but I was born in it. And he just like beats the fuck out of Batman and breaks his back. Like that was at least cool. I mean, there were some cool moments in Batman Rises. Few of them.
Okay.
And a lot of bullshit. But those first two movies are so fucking strong, especially the second one, where it's like a modern fucking classic. That I think even if the third one, let's just say, just completely sucked dick, it still deserves to be in the top three fucking.
Because the first two hold up so good.
Yeah, and the first one's underrated of how fucking good that movie is because it was followed up by The Dark Knight, which everyone thinks is the best one, which rightfully so. But the first one's so good though.
Oh yeah.
And then of course you got Back to the Future.
Ah, dude, you fucking took it from me, man. I was actually just about to say that.
Say it, Marty. Johnny B.
Okay,
Good.
Back to the Future. I'll give you that one for sure.
That's excellent. The Evil Dead. Have you seen The Evil Deads? Evil Dead 1, 2, and then Army of Darkness? No, I'm not talking about the remake. I did love the remake as well.
I've only seen one Evil Dead. That's it.
Okay, and it was the remake, the one a couple years
ago?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the remake of the first one without Bruce Campbell. Okay, well, we'll leave The Evil Dead off just because you haven't seen it, but it's...
Okay, hold on. I'm going to say X-Men Trilogy.
Well, that's when we get into the same thing as Star Wars because there's.
I don't like the compounds of just saying trilogy.
Okay, so here's the deal. So if we were to break the six X-Men movies, if you don't count like the solo Wolverine movies, you have X1, X2, X3, and then you have First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse. Now, I would argue that First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse is a fucking awesome trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not going to do another X-Men movie, and that's just a trilogy,
right?
I'd do more up there because Days of Future Past is one of my favorite movies of all time. First Class is flawless, and Apocalypse was good enough. Like Apocalypse, I mean, we did a podcast on it. If you guys want to check it out, the first video we ever did together was our fucking spoiler discussion of Apocalypse. But Apocalypse was good though. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it holds a light to the other ones, but yeah, I mean, if we're gonna count that, that's an awesome trilogy.
Okay.
What about the Blade movies?
I never saw the Blade movies.
Oh my god! Everyone thinks that X-Men started the superhero craze. It might have brought it into the limelight more, but Blade 1 was huge. I remember when I was a kid, and everyone forgets that was a. I mean, I guess a lot of people didn't know that was a comic book movie.
Yeah, my parents were all crazy Christian at that point.
Dude. So have you never seen it?
No, I've never seen any of the Blades.
We'll have to watch it. It opens up with like this fucking rave going on, and these vampires are on this fucking rave where blood's shooting from the sprinklers, and their partner Blade just walks into the middle of it, and it just starts fucking murdering like the whole fucking party of vampires, and the way that they kill, it's fucking brutal. It's a fucking great movie too.
Oh.
And then 2 was awesome, done by Guillermo del Toro. And 3 actually introduced me to Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. She was super hot in the movie. And Ryan Reynolds was pretty cool. He had swords, wore like a red little vest thing. I think he was like almost like a wannabe Deadpool in that movie as well. I remember that movie not being very good, but it was still a pretty decent trilogy. The Hannibal movies, I think. Now, it's not...
Catch me off guard on this shit, man.
Okay. I'm sorry. So Hannibal, of course you got Silence of the Lambs, classic. Excellent movie. You got the Ridley Scott sequel that's just called Hannibal. That movie's kind of shitty, but it has some really cool parts. People being eaten by pigs, him eating people's faces on the plane.
Right.
But then the third one is actually like, this is weird because this is like a trilogy where the second one is like the worst of the crew. The third one with Peter Norton, Red Dragon. Have you ever seen that? It leads right into Silence of the Lambs. All right, well then we will throw that one out of there. It actually, if we're gonna narrow this down to like the best trilogy, that one's not it. I thought it was worth mentioning. What about Austin Powers? That was.
Oh, so you want to throw comedy in there too, huh?
Just any trilogy. So I mean, because that's what fucking Toy Story and Kung Fu Panda are. Now Austin Powers obviously isn't gonna be the greatest, but those are 3 solid movies though.
I mean, surprisingly enough, the comedy actually kind of holds up.
And I think what's rare is each movie got better. I love the first one, and then the second one came out, and I'm like, this is way better than the first one. And then the third one came out, and I'm like, this is way better than the second one.
I mean, basically any kind of sexual innuendos, or I mean, because it's all sex, it's all sex comedy. So I mean, that's why it always holds up. Even like Fat Bastard. I mean, that's just. Yeah, unless you know what I've noticed though, like I've gone back and like watched older stuff. I'm trying to think of an example. I just saw something. Oh, I think it was. This is gonna sound really lame, but I was at the fire station and Saved by the Bell was on, and that's like considered just like a pretty like mild comedy, like very lighthearted stuff. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Okay, so like, fucking, what's his name? I think his name was Zach.
Zach.
And Slater, yeah, Zach and Slater, that's what it is.
And AC
so
Slater.
They went like this, and they did like the retard thing.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that on a GIF. That would never fly nowadays.
Oh, you can't do that shit anymore, man. Like, there's so many things like in the '90s that like you can't. I mean, we just live in such a PC world now where you can't do any of that shit anymore. And like, I laughed, and I'm like, and then I was like, wow. I can't laugh at that anymore. I mean, it just kind of sucks that you can't
laugh at it. Fuck all these PC people.
Right. But that's my point though. Is that you can't. I mean, you're not supposed to laugh. At
what
stuff.
The fuck brought this little tangent on?
I don't know because Austin Powers has.
You wouldn't think that any of those jokes would fly anymore today?
No. I'm just saying, like, it's harder to get stuff that'll fly. Through the generations, and that's my whole point to that, though. So I don't know, it's just kind of cool. But I mean, there might be a few things in that in comedies from like 20 years ago that we'll see, like, oh man, you can't say that, like you can't call each other faggots or anything like that anymore. Like I mean, if you notice, like you don't see that on.
No, you don't. You don't say faggot and you don't say retarded anymore.
Right? Yeah, you can't say any one of those words now, and I mean, I guess it's just, for me, it's the context in which you say it. Cause
Me too. There is a whole culture that you're offending when you say faggot, even though, I like the South Park, definition, where they're like, no, not a gay fag, just a fag.
Right.
Like a gay fag is what Big Gay Al is. Like a fag is when you are a Harley rider and you go down the street and you rev your engines up and you interrupt everybody's day. That makes you a fag.
And that was probably one of the best episodes.
Oh, I love that episode. I love the biker episode.
Yeah.
So, have you seen the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo films?
No.
Dude, you are not a film buff at all. But you know what?
No. I know.
We did our Media Addict podcast with Dylan and Tommy and all them. And we did Sidekicks. I don't know when it'll be up. Of course, you'll probably watch it. But I had to, like, fucking forfeit all my Sidekicks because they had never seen The Incredibles, because I was like, Frozone, right? That's the best I could come
Oh,
up with.
yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah,
dude, I
incredible.
have no idea, and I feel like this is just repeating with you and not seeing any fucking movies.
I've seen a lot of
Have you
movies.
seen the Bourne movies? Because that falls into a trilogy, even though they're making another one coming out.
Yeah, I've seen the first Bourne movie, and then I've seen parts of the second and parts of the third. So I can't really say
Each get
fully.
better. Oh, no, never
Yeah.
mind. You got the fourth one with Jeremy Renner, which is actually pretty decent. So I don't. I mean, granted, I mean we haven't mentioned the granddaddy of them all,
Godfather?
The Godfather. Yeah. Even
Yeah.
if 3 is kind of garbage, 1 and 2 were so fucking good. And I recently, HBO, and I think it's just fucking. And, like, I think the rights are just to, HBO. Like, I think that they did this cut. But they took the first and the second movie. It's like a 5-hour-long video. I taped it. But they cut 1 and 2, like, together into one movie. And they kind of re-edited the scenes to, like, intertwine the story more. Because number 2 takes place before and after 1. And I think... No, there's no scenes during it, I don't think. But, yeah, I watched that one night with... when... I just let Lucas run around and I ate a pizza, and I watched like a 5-hour Godfather film. So fucking good. It doesn't really even date that much well. Like, it still holds up. Like, that's like, that's one of the remakes we don't need if they ever think about it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would say out of all the shit. So are we including the original Star Wars trilogy, or do you think? I don't think. I think since we have an episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, it's not a trilogy. Neither do I do the X-Men or trilogy, even though I would love to count the X-Men First Class trilogy.
Well, I think that if you make them, one like 4, 5, and 6 all back to back, those were meant to be its own trilogy. 1, 2, and 3 is meant to be its own trilogy.
Yeah, but then in the Return of the Jedi Special Edition, at the very end, Anakin Skywalker from fucking Episode 3 shows up as a Force ghost and ruins everything.
Yeah, I wish that. I think it was so funny when someone's like, "Oh, it'd be so funny if like all the little children that he killed like showed up as ghosts too."
They didn't have the Force under control that well. That's why they couldn't do it. Which is why you have to kill him early, because if you wait till they get strong, then they're gonna Force ghost your ass.
Right, but
I love that scene.
just,
It's so funny.
awkward.
That kid, like, he walks into the room, and the little blonde kid just looks up at him, and you see Anakin's face, and the lightsaber turns on, and then it cuts him just leaving the building, which is almost like just as shitty as if you showed him just slaughtering everybody. Like, it's so just like watching the zoom in on the kid's little kid's face, like, oh, Annie's here.
Oh man, God,
I hate that fucking movie. He goes from like being like,
It's so bad.
I don't want to be on the dark side, to murdering children in like seconds.
Right.
Seconds. Like, people make fun of the Batman and Superman fucking Martha scene. It's like that doesn't even hold a candle up to anything in Episode 3.
And everything happened like in the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh
It's
yeah,
real-
dude, it was so boring.
Man,
You just saw Jennifer Grievous, or not Jennifer, General Grievous, throwing around all his billion lightsabers to sell 1,000 lightsaber toys to the audience. And it's like, can we get on with a story? Like, what the fuck?
that's so
Why is
funny.
Obi-Wan Kenobi riding a little dragon thing? Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Anyway, so obviously the first 3 are not going to make the cut at all, ever. I mean, I will say that the Obi-Wan Vader lightsaber scene was always cool as a kid, but I mean that's really about it.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think of another trilogy. I mean, shit.
I mean, even if we come up with more, like, there's The Matrix, where, again, I think...
The first one.
I really like them all. I like the second one. I thought, like, the highway fight scene, the ghost, the fight scene in that little palace where Leo gets abandoned on the mountains. I think all that's cool. I think the twist was cool. The Agent Smith fight scene in the park was awesome. It got a little like too full of itself, but then in the third movie, I thought the city fight scene at the end was cool, and I liked that they actually showed a huge battle between the humans and the machines in the real world. Like, I thought it was all cool. I don't think it gets shit on, or I don't like shit on it as like as much as most people. But yeah, I mean, I don't think in the grand scheme of things, the Matrix trilogy is up there. I think if we had to narrow it down between the best, like, let's just say top 5, we haven't even mentioned Captain America, but you have not seen Civil War yet. And that movie is fucking excellent, just like the second one, and the first one's really good too. I think Captain America trilogy is up there as far as the best. Not Iron Man because 2 and 3 suck, but it does. I don't know if you ever saw those.
I don't know, man. I haven't kept up with as many movies as I should. I'm gonna be honest
You've
about.
seen Captain America 2 though, right?
I've seen Winter Soldier.
Okay, because I showed you the fight scene in the street. I wasn't sure if you actually watched the whole film from beginning to end. That movie is definitely one of my favorite superhero movies of all time.
My friend shits his pants over Winter Soldier.
Cole?
Yeah,
he shits his pants over everything.
That's true.
I think he just likes to shit his pants. If I had to narrow down our list to top 5, it'd be Lord of the Rings, Toy Story, Kung Fu, and Godfather.
Oh, man, that's just the most random shit I've ever heard.
I think it beats out the Dark Knight trilogy just because the third one sucked, even though the first 3 were excellent. Captain America, the first one, really isn't like a fantastic movie. It's just a good movie. But I gotta go with the movies that all 3 were perfect. I know it sounds like I'm sucking Poe's dick, but I love Kung Fu Panda. And 2 and 3 are so fucking good, just like the first one is. Lord of the Rings, you don't have to... the last movie won, no less than, 20,000 Academy Awards. And I think, 30 Oscars. No, but I think it did win. I think it won, Best Sound. It may have won Best Picture, Best, overall cast. It won a bunch of stuff. And then Toy Story, how can you shit on Toy Story? I think Toy Story has to be in the conversation.
I just think this should be done now. I just don't think I think the way it ended was good.
Yeah. They haven't given us a fucking Incredibles 2 yet. I know it's been announced that they're trying to make it, but it's why are we getting Cars 3 and Nemo 2? Which, Finding Nemo 2 last weekend became the highest grossing animated domestic film of all time.
It kind of looked good, though. I don't know.
No. I think it's going to be good because even Monsters University was really good. Monsters University dropped the ball. Did you see Monsters University?
Never did.
Well, you know the plot of it, right? It's the prequel where they go to college.
Sure.
God damn it. Well, at the end of the movie, it should have cut to them talking to Boo, they were telling their college stories to Boo, and as she's getting ready to go to college. That would have been a nice wraparound, but it just kind of ends. Where was I going? Oh yeah, no. Finding Dory does look good though. I want to see it. I think it's crazy that it's the biggest, it's the highest grossing, film here domestically of all time. But Finding Nemo was huge though, and that people love that movie.
Well, not only that, Finding Dory, because she has basically short-term memory loss to the worst extent. So
if her fins were longer, she'd be hitting herself in the chest.
Yeah, it kind of. Yeah, but like I said, it sets itself up perfectly for it. So I would definitely let that go.
Are you fucking around? Are you trying to find list of?
Yeah, because
are you trying to find other people's lists because you can't think of one yourself? No, I don't think you're gonna find anything better than Lord of the Rings, Toy Story, Back to the Future, Godfather.
You sprung this shit on me without any kind of fucking warning.
I know. And you know what? We shouldn't have started to talk about it because that's what made me want to go with it. Is the fact that we talked about it. And we just kind of had a really heavy topic. This is being filmed back to back with our cop shooting, Black Lives Matter. And I had another topic I wanted to talk about, but I kind of felt like lightening the mood.
What about... Shit, there's nothing I can find that's even good.
Dude, I went through my whole movies of my whole library of fucking movies. These are the trilogies that I have. Okay, so quit trying to find anything. So, list: Kung Fu Panda, Lord of the Rings, Toy Story, Captain America, Back to the Future, Godfather, and Dark Knight. Which 3 do you bump up to the top 3?
Oh man.
Because we already said no X-Men, no Austin Powers, no Hannibal, no Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, no Star Wars, no Blade, no Indiana Jones, and no X-Men or Spider-Man.
Man, okay. I have to go with Batman.
So you want to push Batman The Dark Knight up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have to. Yeah.
And then what are the other two you want to push up?
I mean, I have to put The Godfather up there.
I would agree. I wouldn't agree with The Dark Knight, though.
What now?
I said I wouldn't agree with The Dark Knight, though, because you have movies like Toy Story and Lord of the Rings where those movies are all perfect. And Batman has two excellent movies and then one with plot holes big enough you could drive cars through it.
That's true. Probably Lord of the Rings. I'd have to put that one up there.
I mean, I think Lord of the Rings changed a lot. Like, that's when you started getting, like, giant, long, epic, fantasy movies. Like, I don't think, not that they're super related, but, like, Harry Potter movies are really long, and I don't think you get the audience to, like, adapt to that if you don't get the Lord of the Rings and their success first. Because I feel like that paved the way for every movie to try to be 3 hours long now.
Oh my god. Dude, well, I will say the last Lord of the Rings, it felt like it never fucking ended. I got out of my
The Hobbit.
The last Lord of the Rings. I got
okay. You mean like after the battle, like the actual ending?
Yeah.
That was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I seriously got out of my seat like 5 to 7 times. I'm like, is it over? Jesus Christ.
Dude, I remember I went, because I saw the movies multiple times. I remember I went down to Troy, and they have a little, like, makeshift movie theater down in Troy, down in Hicksville. If Alvin's listening, he'll laugh. I think the movie theater's gone now, though. What?
Really? I went to that movie theater a couple times.
Oh, yeah, the fucking speaker was blown out. But I saw the first Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, with my friend John. And I remember when the movie ended, a girl was, I guess, like, she had no idea what the story was. She, like, legitimately thought, like, the movie was going to wrap up. But she's like, what the fuck? We're not going to throw him to the volcano. Like, what's going on? And we're like, dude, there's 2 more movies. And she was like, oh, man, that sucks. And I was like, what a fucking idiot. Good lord. Wow, but I just heard, like, a side because she screamed at the screen. Because the screen just cuts to black after Sam and Frodo, like, go by themselves and they go up over the hill. And you could see, like, fucking Mordor, like, so far away. Yeah, it was fucking, hysterical. She's like, what the fuck? When are they going to throw it to the volcano? I should have been like, stay after the credits. You just get a short scene of him just, there you go.
Yeah. And then you just fucked him further.
We did it. No, I will admit, Lord of the Rings 3 is, it's fucking excellent. But yeah, like, after the actual battle happened, it kind of overstayed its welcome, but like I don't think you're gonna find anybody who's gonna argue against it. Like, the biggest complaint after that movie came out was like, holy fuck, that ending had like 20 different endings.
Right.
And that's not even the fucking 4-hour director's cut that I love to watch. Yeah. Well, when I showed them to my wife, the way that we watch them, because she's like, I don't want to watch this, like, like those longer movies. I'm like, well, we watch like a TV show usually every night. So like, if we just split it up like an hour, like, we'll just like watch it for like a couple weeks and then we'll be done with it all. And she really liked the movies, but that's how I got her to watch it, is we just watch like an hour of the extended cuts.
Yeah, I don't have time for that shit. I would be good.
Obviously, since you haven't seen any of these movies. Okay, so I think honestly, if we're gonna bat down to it, it's gonna be between Lord of the Rings, Toy Story, and Godfather for the best trilogy. Would you disagree or agree?
I have to go with Lord of the Rings, man.
Okay. Would you agree that those are like the top 3? I think it beats out Back to the Future, even though it's excellent. Definitely beats out Captain America, even though I love that. It beats out Kung Fu Panda, which makes me sad.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think Lord of the Rings, like you said, it really set the bar, and just
and The Godfather, we're basing it off the the first 2, but like the third one is so shitty.
But all 3 of the Lord of the Rings were solid, so
they were fucking incredible.
So the best one out of all of them has to be Lord of the Rings.
Even over Toy Story. You just hate animated films because you had that girlfriend who wanted to watch something but animated films, and now you hate any of the animated.
No, we all make mistakes. That's all.
Yeah, all your mistakes come from Kansas City. You got terrorists and you got animated loving girlfriends.
I don't now. My wife doesn't like it really anything unless
Your
it's
wife doesn't like anything. I think she's up there hating everything right now. Love you, Andy. All right. Well, this has been a terrible topic. You're right. I probably should have waited.
Yeah, this has been a conversation with Dave and Dave.
Yeah, this is a conversation with David trying to convince Shawn to see more films.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We should have both had lists and compared them. But you know what? Fuck you. The Lord of the Rings wins. Kung Fu Pandas in second place, and then Toy Story, The Godfather.
Yeah.
And you can't argue until you've seen them all.
You're right. So thanks for being an asshole and not fucking telling me what you wanted to talk about until...
I wanted to talk about, like, more PC people being offended by stuff, and it's just like, you know what? That makes me lose faith in humanity, and I've already lost it in this conversation. And then this conversation with you made me lose it even more. So yeah, no, maybe next time. Maybe next time.
All right. All right, man.
All right. Well, like, comment, and subscribe. All the things you guys don't do, and please let us know what you want us to talk about, and please list down movie recommendations below for Shawn. Greatly appreciated. Bye.
Bye.